Yeah. What do you got there? Are those more...
Fire sunflowers.
Oh, God. I thought you were done with those. Those things are terrible.
Still have it.
Yeah, it's so bad. Good day, everyone. Today we have a... Why is it a good day? Why is it a good day? Today we have a 2024, I think.
2023.
Is it 2023? Yeah, 2023. New body style Toyota Tundra. So, got the new radio in here. Yeah. This is a base audio system. Meaning it just has the dash speakers, the door speakers, and the rear components. So base audio now comes with rear components. And so we're not keeping the tweeter, but we're going to be using, it's a whole thing on the rear doors. But needless to say, we're just going to be putting a coaxial on the bottom, not retaining this obnoxious tweeter right here. What we are going to be using is this K2 6.5-inch coaxial.
Yeah.
So, boom, yeah, that thing. And then for the fronts, we'll be doing the new K2 powers with the frac tweeter. And that is where all the fun and excitement comes in, because that is not a tweeter. It is a tweeter, but it's not a tweeter. It is this gigantic, like you can see inside of it here. There's the voice coil. There's the spider. This thing is huge. What we had him do is get a set of the JBL A-pillars. So we took out the factory ones. He had these. These are the factories. So these are coming out, going away. And these are what's going in here. Found them used on eBay. So good deal there. This is the little tiny hole. Now, we have to get this guy to fit here and figure out how to do that. So we did it. Don't keep in mind, we did it. We're cool. So not too long ago, we put a set of regular K2s and we made these pieces to do that. Made it on the laser, and then we 3D printed it to find out which one we liked, and good to go. So today we did the same thing. We started out drawing it. File, open recent. We'll go to frac tweeter. So this is, we got more. Hold on, open recent. Frac tweeter. Okay, so here is all the parts. Not that one. I don't know what that is. Let's get rid of this guy. You don't belong there. Okay, so here's all the parts that it took to build this. So we used the laser to create a model of what we wanted to build. This is seven different pieces of acrylic. Yeah, six pieces here, 7 for the top. And some of them are thicker than others, so you got like a quarter and an eighth. Anyways, so this created the shape that we wanted it. And all of these pieces are unique to do that. So like here's the piece that snaps in. These are spacers. There's 2 different heights of that. This is the back piece. This is the front spacer. This is the bottom spacer. So there's a whole bunch, okay? And they all go into this. So if we look at this. All right, so the idea was we could take this shape here and put the back piece on like this. And there we go. We have a tweeter mount. And on here we have these 3 tabs. This has those 3 tabs, and this will spin until it locks into those 3 tabs, and that's it. So once we got this done, we put it all together, and then we took it over into the vehicle to make sure that we have the room that we need here. So this is essentially where the tweeter sits, and it goes right in, fits, no problem. K2 3-inch mid-range, already the dash. I'll show you that in a second. So that fit. Now once we got that to fit, then we went back into the computer and we changed to 3D mode, which is to say we needed 3D shapes. We don't need this one. Oh, not that. Stop. Go away. Let's delete that shape because we don't need it. Okay, so these are blanks for 3D shaping now. So this is the acrylic piece that's going to go on the back, so we don't need to change that. But each one of these is now ready for 3D manipulation. So we go back into the bamboo, we go to prepare, and we go to objects. And so if we go down here into the assembly, we can see where we have base 1 through 5, which are those 5 shapes. And then we take them over into our slicer, and we create this object right here by using those shapes. And then we slice it, add some supports for the backside, and then we come down, make sure it's all good, make sure there's no flaws. And then we end up with this guy right here. So this is our new 3D printed piece that'll snap in. And one thing we can do with the 3D printed piece, we can make these a little bit more precise, and we needed a little bit like 0.02 more spacing on this. So this will go into here, it'll screw in, our tweeter will mount on top of it, and it goes into the car. And boom, you got a frac tweeter in the side of your vehicle. How exciting is that? Thinking about W7, 8, or TW5 for a 2021 Mustang, which would you recommend? 310s in the spare tire well. That's kind of where I'm at on my Mustang. Is I want to put 310s in the spare tire well. Sage, it's...
I thought you said you want to do 4.
No, Sage did 3.
Oh.
Yeah, so Sage did a Mustang over at Sounds Good Stereo. They put 3 Focal Flax 10s in it, and that's kind of where I'm at on that. So, yeah. I mean, I have a convertible, so I want as much as I can possibly get. So, but we've done 2 10s, 2 12s. 8, no. 8 in the trunk, bad idea. So I would stick with 10s. At least a 10 or, something along those lines. 8's too small. I don't, yeah, good, bad idea. Okay, so that being said, now we move on to the mid-range. So the mid-range is this guy right here, which we've actually already scanned this, have it in. And this is way easier than the one you guys saw last week. So this guy is the piece we made. It's 2 pieces of 1/8-inch acrylic. Drops into place like this. This gap and foam is designed to drop in like so. So this rides right up into here, and that is the perfect height. So when this guy goes in, because this guy goes in like this, lines up, and then and that will line up. There's a little lip on the bottom of this that sits on that piece of foam, and there you go. Now all the sound is going to come through here, so it's like a fast ring, but we built it out of acrylic as opposed to just putting some random piece of foam on there. So it's designed to come all the way up to meet up with this. And then that little tiny 16th piece of foam is just enough so that these two won't, I don't think they'll rattle, but, paranoia is kind of the way to go there. So there's that. Now, as far as the doors, haven't got there yet. He's already done some sound treatment on the doors, front and rear. He's working on the rears right now because he's waiting on me to make the brackets for the front doors, which I'll be doing as soon as this is over, because I have to wait for the other front tweeter to finish printing. Now, one thing we did figure out is that on the frac tweeter, acrylic paper, on the frac tweeter, it does have cool little speaker connectors, but where we have to mount this, there's just no way that they're going to be on there, so we added in our plug. So this will just go in and plug in, and we have the other end on that side, so that'll all just go into place, and then we'll be cool. We can get this tweeter in, so that'll be the next thing I do as soon as this is over. Heading up front, so today's the first day we're trying out some ASA, because ABS sucks, and so this guy is just firing away, doing its little printy print action here. We were doing some printing on this one earlier today. That's what all this stuff is. I'm practicing something else because everybody needs a hobby, and apparently when you spend a bunch of money on 3D printers, it's always nice to have a hobby. And so last week we did some fun stuff with some colors because I don't have an AMOS, and I was like, ooh. So this past weekend on my way home from Disney, I came up with an idea, and I was like, I wanted to try it. So last night I drew this from scratch. So this is obviously Sonic the Hedgehog, and this is, yeah, so we made this today, which was fun. This was a lot of neatness, and how that guy went together. Let's see if we can open recent Sonic. So if we come over here and we look at this, so this is Sonic. We drew that, and so now if we back out through all the colors, so the first color is white, even though it's represented here as gray. That is because we want it being the lighter color. We wanted to make sure we got that first. The back is black, but the color of his eye is white. So we printed white first, and then we printed his mouth, his eyeball, and then his famous blue color, and then we printed the black. So this allowed us to print all of those stacked on top of one another like this. And what we did is we built in a pause, so every time it needed to change colors, the printer would stop, I'd go change the color, and we'd end up with this guy. How cool is that? I put a little hanger in the back here, so my little buddy can hang this on his wall, be like, I love Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm so cool. But, Fernando, the show is not brought to us by Sonic the Hedgehog.
I wish.
Dean's cool 3D printing skills.
No.
Who's it brought to us by?
This show is brought to you by MorelHiFi.com. Yeah. MorelHiFi.com. You haven't seen a video that we just did?
No, it's not up yet.
Because that's the reason why.
It's going to be up this week. The census review will be up this week.
So, just pay attention.
Unboxing. Yep.
Pay attention of the unboxing. Is going to come next week.
This week.
This week.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Be Wednesday.
Check them out.
Wednesday?
The new... Did it really?
Yeah, it'd be Wednesday.
Okay. So the new census, in 2 days, you will see the unboxing of the new 3-way set.
And the
a
2 ways.
component set.
Yeah, it's pretty
So it's
awesome.
really nice. Check it out. MorelHiFi.com. Here on Instagram. Morel_America.
Did you finish redoing the geometry on the plug for the box? Dude, I literally drew Sonic.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, sorry.
It's so sad, man.
I got a lie.
I have one too. It involved apparently making Sonic. So for those that have been following at home, we're working on our new census cabinets. These guys here. So he's handling the 3D side of it, and I'll do all the 2D stuff because he wanted to. Why not? So that'll come up. Good afternoon, Windy City. There you go. So that is what is happening in the Bay now. Now, the other stuff that is going into this, just in case, we'll talk about it more tomorrow, is getting a key lock coming out of the radio to deal with all the shenanigans because I don't want to. And we're putting a big shocker, Blackbird and a Nighthawk on a whole bunch of subs underneath the back seat. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk on that tomorrow. But for right now, what's up? Hey, don't forget tonight at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, YouTube, Facebook, we'll be answering your questions. Tune in. Be there. I'm out. See ya.
Silver one.
Is it Stanley or is it just silver?
Silver.
It's not on one of those, is it? It's not one of those knives, is it?
No.
Because there's 3 over there. But could be one of those. Good day, everyone. Look at Fernando. Look at him go. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Oh, how come we didn't start printing the thing? We should have started printing that. I mean, it's load. That's all you, bro. We have 2 printers.
I thought you were gonna use PLA.
It takes 2 seconds to swap the ASA for PLA.
No.
It's this. Yeah. Right
I
here.
see them. No.
It's not that one? Okay. All right, so you need me to switch from... You need me to put the PLA in there?
I mean, I thought that's what...
Yeah. I mean, it's... No one beats Fernando. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. Unload. So today we're back at it. We have the Tundra. Comes to fuse holders. Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, what's up? So apparently yesterday when we talked about whether he had finished the piece for the speakers, he actually had. So now I ordered a fresh batch of black PLA. This is not going to be heating. It's going to, be in an air conditioned room. Oh, hang on. There we go. So we don't want to waste it with this stuff. So we'll switch these real quick. His piece is going to take like 10 hours. All right. This guy out of here. How much inlay are you doing? Not much. Very little actually, but it's huge. The thing is huge, and it does have to withstand the pressure of a 6.5. The walls are. That's a terrible view. Yeah, it's really not a ton of inlay. It probably won't take that long. We haven't really tried it with this stuff yet. ABS is what we were using before, and that's why it was taking so long. ABS just sucks. Come on. Again. Are y'all using the bamboo? We are using the bamboos. So this one today is... So yesterday we made a Sonic. We're trying out multicolor without a AMOS. And so... we made a blue one. And then his sister said, I want a pink one. So we have a pink one. Today we're building pink. What's the URL of the company that sells the clips and fasteners by make and model of car? Amazon. We just get ours off Amazon. You can literally just type in the make of the car and it'll show you every pin for that car. But we do have the kit, which I'll go check in a minute here. Okay, come on, give me the okay. Well, that's being stupid, so we'll come back to that. I bought the oven clips for a Toyota. It cost me $327.
175.
$175? So at the auto parts, see, this doesn't have a name. So these are like discount auto parts or Napa or some stuff. They sell the whole kit for your car, which is kind of cool. That was actually pretty reasonable. But, you know, we buy all the clips off of, you just buy them 50 at a time, 20 at a time, something like that off Amazon. So I think the Volkswagen ones that we had to get last, or the BMW ones, those are like 10. Those were kind of ridiculous. Man, what is this doing? Gotcha. Let's try this again. There we go. Success. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. She is pink. Well, this is black, but the pink is going on right now. So, the pink is actually happening. So, here we go. We got a pink Sonic coming out. That'll be cool. So, that'll look nice. Alright, so this one is confirmed. So it's purging, I hope. Just hope it stops here in a second. Done. There we go. Okay, so that's all set and ready. Afternoon. Okay, so with all that out of the way, okay, you're all set. You can hit print. Toyota Tacoma Tundra. Let's see what's going on with the Tundra. Let's update you on the process of this. I'm interested in the TW5, but want to know if they hit the low lows. Yeah, that's actually like, it's impressive. JL can make subs. They got that covered for sure. Okay, update on this. Right when you start, he's gonna start grinding. Okay, so we made the brackets today. This is the bracket for the K2 6.5 inch mid base. It is 2 pieces of 1/2 inch, 1 piece of 1/8, and another piece of 1/4. And it is the exact depth of the factory bracket, and that is why it just has this solitary piece of foam in it. There is a lip on the back of the door panel, which I will show you. Hang on. That's Fernando's digging to find something he dropped. So this lip right here is going to rest on that piece of foam, just like the factory speaker does. And in case you want to see what the factory speaker looks like, it looks like this. So see that gap right there? That is where that goes on, and this feeds into that. So they use a 7 inch now instead of a 6x9, and it's super cheesy. Like, This is the dash speaker. So we built our brackets the same way. So it's gonna adapt the same way. Now behind it is all the fast ring action. So there's a piece of the fast ring on the back side, and then the plug is attached to the side along with a ton of sound treatment to make it super duper cool. For integrating into the radio for this, we were using a key lock. And the nice thing is on this new vehicle, so you got screen protectant here, the only thing you have to do is pop this piece out, and then you can get to your radio plugs right here. And inside of the dash, we made a bracket, bolted it into place, and this is our key lock. Here's our 2 load resistors. We are not using the rear speakers, we're just using the front, but we still loaded them down because we don't want them to go crazy and blow up the radio. We have a remote turn on coming out of the key lock, and then everything just plugs in. So pack makes a T-harness. So right here, these are our 2, this is for that speaker and the rear door speaker. These speakers are that wiring there. Hey, look, a factory speaker just chilling out. That was actually the center channel speaker. And then our RCAs are right here. So when we're done, we'll connect all of these and we will have everything that we need to go into the car. So that's that. Anyway, so one thing we're trying on this car, it's different. We really haven't tried it before, but I don't know. I just want to see what it does. Probably does nothing, but it is. I put, which I need to fix because Fernando just jammed it down in there. Hang on.
Find my knife.
Did you find your knife?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Where was it?
In the bin of the, yeah, one of the bins.
One of the bins. Okay. So, what I want to try differently is polyfill. So this is the sheets, not the ball, inside of the dash area here, because this is just all open. And I don't know, I feel like it may do something, it may not, but I want to give it a shot. It tucks into the dash, into the little cracks of the dash, so it's like a hammock, and it kind of fills that whole area in. I don't know, it's something I've always wanted to try, and we had some sheets sitting over there, and I was like, oh, let's give it a go. So we're gonna try that. The box. Oh, Fernando, how you like your new box? Yeah, he's not gonna comment. Okay, so this is the Fox box for the Toyota Tundra, 4 Comp RT 10s. It's a 3-piece box, all right? Now, we talked to Joe yesterday, and he is going to include on the website that you need to remove this part that sits underneath the subwoofer enclosure. He knew that, he needed to update his notes. This box will not fit in here properly unless you remove all of that, which is fine because this box covers all of that, so you're not gonna have to worry about it. Plus, there's so much sound treatment from the factory underneath this, it's quite crazy. So, it's 3 pieces. You have this piece here, and it gives you foam and bolts, and you bolt the 2 boxes together here, and that gives you your 4 10s. Now, it's offset because there's a fuse holder power distribution from the factory that goes there. You can see those. Those are the K2 coaxials. And then behind the seat, you have to remove all of the stuff. And this is the port, which also screws in to this here. So it's a 412 ported box with this big port right here. And then the sub wires go here. So we've put ours is here. So we'll just plug right into that. We won't be using this one. I'll probably make a cover for that. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Anyways, so that's that. Now, if you listen to it and you think, oh, ported, no good, because it happens, then Joe also includes this piece right here, which is the cover. So this is designed to cover the hole, and then you put, you know, insulation, which he does give you the foam. Does give you foam. So everything comes in the box. It's all set and ready to go. Now you do have to remove the tray. You have to remove the jute, and you have to remove. There's a rubber panel that goes there. So you have to pull it, and you have to pull all of the back out. So you got to do all that to get the Fox box in there. I'm excited to see how it sounds. So that ought to be cool. But you have no room back here for any of the equipment, so to speak. You could probably make an amp rack over on that side for it. But for this, what we're thinking, and then this will all go back in. All the side pieces will go back in. They're just not in yet because he hasn't put them in. The amplifiers, the Blackbird and the Nighthawk, are going to go underneath the passenger front seat, kind of like they do in the older Toyotas. This one doesn't have power seats, so there's plenty of room to fit them up underneath there. Unlike the version we did before that had power seats, it sits down with power and air conditioning. All that really takes up a lot of the space underneath it. This one is totally open, so we're good there. Rear seat passenger would get a surprise if they didn't know what's under that seat. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of metal up underneath that seat, so it's yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it, see how it sounds. So that'll be later tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow we'll hopefully get to fire this thing up and hear what it sounds like and get rocking and rolling. Okay, so recapping, we got one speaker left to screw in. He's got that door panel to put back on. So after that's like 10 minutes, all the speakers will be done. Right now he's working on the fuse holder. It's a pain in the butt to get to. Batteries here in the back corner of the car. So this area and a bunch of stuff behind the glove box has to come out in order to get this in. So he's going to make his cool fuse holder here to go, which we'll take a look at later on. I need to build my amp rack. The T-harness all set. I'm using the Stinger extension cables for their harness. The harness that we're using in this is the LPH TY02. This guy right here, LPH TY02. This is designed to plug into that. We've been using a lot of these lately because they're thinner and way easier to manage. So digging these, plus they have the ends on them, so they easily just plug in, which is cool. So that's where we're at with this. But before we go, Fernando.
Yes. Are you anxious about anything?
Are you anxious or interested?
No, anxious.
Are you inches?
Yes.
Whoa, you're spinning.
Stuff, right?
You're interested in stuff?
I mean,
Or inches and stuff?
inches and stuff.
Inches and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
That's how you say it?
Interested.
No, I'm not interested.
Okay. So inches.
Like-
Itching? Inches and... Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, this show is brought to you by MorelHiFi.com.
Yes.
Yeah, go to MorelHiFi.com and buy anything you want.
Yes.
Right now, they have a promotion. They probably not, but you should go and check it out.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Right.
MorelHiFi.com.
Very nice. And that is not what you think it is from far away. That is just that is the cup for the Morel Census 3-inch that's going in the tower speakers.
Which one is the one that...
Year 2. So that is, no, it's,
Say yeah?
no, it's, you add or remove filament. Go right there, add or remove filament. And then go all the way to the right.
I thought you...
I clicked it on mine probably. Go to the right, keep going. Take this toolbar, go all the way to the right. Keep going, you want to go, Son PLA. Yeah, click on the PLA plus.
PLA plus?
Yep. And then choose that one.
Okay.
On number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah, because that's where you're at. So there's no reason to just scroll to the bottom.
I thought you were number 2.
No. Just pick. Okay. Now when you go to splice it, you're gonna put it on printer 2. But no, you've already got this set up for one, so just change what one is. You don't have to do a bunch of crap. See, you're all set. Easy peasy. Yeah, and you're all set. Just go back to where you were. Go back to preview. Click print plate. Click 2. This is your first day. And click here.
Yeah,
click here again. No, you can't. You got to click here, and then you send it. That's all. That's the whole thing.
I don't want to send it yet.
Why? But anyways, that's what you got to do. Okay. We're talking about these cabinets here that are going to get the Morel census in it. And he's printing another version of this that's the right size. So we'll see that tomorrow. That's not as bad as your new soldering iron. That's true, man. That is true for sure. That was funny. Okay, that's it. That's all we got going on. I thought I had something else in my brain. I probably do, but I forgot because, full send. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye. It's backwards.
No, it's right.
Oh my gosh. Couvert. What is
Revoke.
What is the couvert?
Yes, revoke. Revoke.
Yeah. Anyways, good day, everyone, and welcome to whatever day of the week this is. I don't know.
Today is the day.
I honestly don't know. I think it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, it is Wednesday.
Feels like Wednesday. Yeah. We're in the Tundra. What's up, guys? It's me, Kelly G.
Hi.
Long time no talk. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Sure.
So, all right, real, right? So real. So here's some really screwed up stuff.
Not fake stuff.
That is real. So Arc Audio, Brian, our good friend Brian, he just did like this in the middle of this crazy drive. So they live in where do they live?
They live in
Modesto, California.
Yep.
Drives to Stillwater, Oklahoma, pulling the Volt in the trailer, the Arc Audio trailer. It is a red trailer that says Arc Audio on the side. It's a nightmare. We've all seen it. Like last time he drove off the side of the road with it. Anyways, gets all the way there. Then by Monday he has to be up in the Pacific Northwest show, so he's got to drive up to Washington. All right, so he's got to drive from Stillwater, Oklahoma, to Washington. So he dips out Saturday, drives all night Saturday, all day Sunday, gets there, got to be there by Monday to set up. Boom, he gets there, everything is great. Dude, somebody steals the Arc Audio trailer out of the parking lot.
That's just crazy.
So yesterday, they steal the thing. Now, this is where it gets messed up, okay? So he's getting ready to do his class, and right as he does his class, they walk in, like he's setting up his laptops, getting everything. And they go, hey, is that your lock? They show him a picture of a lock. They say, is this your lock? And he goes, yeah, but where's the trailer? And they're like, oh, we'll have to check and see if it's still there. They knew it wasn't there because they found a lock on the ground with some bolt cutters. So somebody steals the trailer right before he's got to go teach a class. Could you imagine how, I would be like, all right, somebody else has got to teach my class because, I got to go.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
For sure.
Okay, dumb on their part for sure. I would definitely have waited until he got done teaching class. So, they steal the trailer. So you think, oh, it's terrible. He's like, you know what? And then he remembers he left all his tools in the trailer. It's like $6,000 worth of tools in the trailer, okay? And he's like, God. Now, this is where one of those other things. So on the door of the trailer, all these designers over the years have signed their name to it. And most of them aren't with us anymore. So it's like the door is probably the most valuable thing in the trailer other than his Snap-on tools. So last night he's reeling, bro. He is just losing. He's like, dude, it's a red trailer. Like, how do you lose a trailer? So today I got to call Brad. Brad goes, well, I don't know how my day is going, but I got good news and bad news. We found the trailer. They found the trailer. Somebody found the trailer. Of course, they, ripped the door open, stole all the wheels and tires. Great, right? So fun. So now
tools.
We're assuming the tools. So that's where we're at. So that's where we're at. We found the trailer with no wheels and tires and a crowbar to the door. So, I've talked to Brian tonight to find out what, but Now, see, here's the rub in all this. See, he needs to get home as soon as possible. He didn't have time for this.
Yeah.
Because Princess, just had the surgery, and Princess is waiting at home for him. So now he's going to have to find like a babysitter to come and take care of Princess for an extra day, I'm assuming. Who knows? Because, honestly, the most important thing in his life is those dogs. So this really kind of screws things up for him. So hopefully he's figured that out. But, come on, man. People suck. People just suck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the real for today. So at least they found the trailer. Part 2 will be tomorrow when we explain the rest of it and what the outcome of it is. And does he make it home? It's a cliffhanger. But the good news is we are done with the Tundra. So, how would you like to go over the Tundra and see what it has?
Yes.
Before we do that, hi, Sue. Let's go back through here. That's horrible. It is. Hi, Morel. Such as three-way versus Focal Flax three-way. Good question. Hello, Bobby. How did you put the 3.5s in the Silverado? We used a special tool, which I'll show you in a second. Real talk. Okay, so. Get out of this thing. It's very hot in here. Okay. So, how did we put it in? Well, you have an air compressor. It's going to make things real easy. Head over to the cheap tool store, and you need to buy one of these. Okay, actually 2 of these. And what I mean by that is this is the cheap tool store auger bit, and this is probably one of the cheap tool stores. Right, it's not really. It's like a 15-degree angle thingy, and then we put foam all over the top of it so it doesn't scratch the windshield. And then you got to get in there like this. And that's how you do it. It's not the most prestigious thing, but that's what you use. The other thing that happened today, which is kind of funny, which we were on borrowed time. To be fair, we were on borrowed time. When we had the big Mercedes here and we were tuning that outside, we had run into an issue with our XLR cable. And luckily, we have a bunch of XLR cables for the microphone thing that we have. Oh, my glasses are on the ground. That's not good. Well, at least they landed the right direction. So today, it finally gave up the ghost. Fernando's been screwing with it. And so here's the thing. It's broke, okay? It's definitely broke. And he spent like an hour just playing with it. It's working right now, but... I'm going to do that and save us all the headache. It just spent, yeah, and I told you not to.
What?
I told you not. If you want to take it home, go right ahead.
And what am I going to do?
I don't know.
Hang myself?
You could. I have to wait till 11 to hear. Sorry. Okay. Toyota Tundra. If you haven't been following along, recap. The brand new Focal K2 white box. So these are the new white boxes. So this is the ES165 KX3E. E is for Evo. Apparently everything new is Evo. So it has the frac tweeter, which is the giant tweeter. We made these out of acrylic, and then that turned into this 3D print right here that houses the tweeter into the factory location. We made brackets for the 2 and 3 inch that goes at the top of the dash. We made brackets for which we showed you yesterday and the day before. So now we're done with all of that. Tuned, sound treated, everything is back to normal with the exception of I gotta snap this in place. The reason why this is up is because hiding underneath that is a key lock. The key lock is here to save time. You have your load resistors, everything plugs in. There's a bracket that mounts it into place. Everything plugs in, it's fantastic. We used the pack harness that allowed us to just simply build this on a bracket, screw it down into place, and plug it in. I mean, it was pretty awesome. Now I can snap it down. That was the last piece to go in, other than the seat. I haven't bolted this now. Now, for subwoofers, we went with 4 Comp RTs. So we got 4 Comp RT 10s and the Joe Fox box for this. Now, this does not obviously have, be careful, that's not screwed down. This does not have the hybrid, so this is fully open. If you want to go with this box, it's a 3-piece box. there's this back piece, this front piece, and a port that I'll show you in a moment. And you have to remove the inner lining. That has to come out. You have to remove, there's a black lining underneath it. That has to come out, and you have to remove the jute underneath the box. That area there you do not, because that is not actually touching the floor, so we left the jute there. But everything else, you just cut it so that if you need to put it back in, it'll go back in. You don't want to rip it or anything. So that comes out. This box bolts together. And then can you fold that down so that we could see? So it gives you two options, ported and non-ported, because some subs sound better non-ported. These, that's what the cover was for that Fernando had at the beginning. These, bro, they killed it with the port, so we're leaving the port. So this is the port. Now, if you're going to be using the port, which we are, he gives you a bracket that you have to move the seatbelt out of the way. Okay, let's move okay, so the seatbelt has to move. The one thing that we did to modify his bracket is he did not have this screw in the bracket for some reason. I don't know why. So Fernando drilled it and put a second screw in here to hold this. Yeah, it was kind of weird because normally he thinks of that stuff. So we added just that extra screw, but he gives you this nice 1/8 inch thick steel bracket and the extra bolts that are needed. So that's just because this port has to come over. Our speaker plug went in, so that's cool. And then of course you have to remove all of this behind here. So no more package tray. So you eat up everything. So there's that. The jack still fits?
The jack still fits.
All right, so the jack will still go in. Now, for the amplifiers, you see the blue pigtail hanging out here. Plug that, pull that out of the way. That needs to go back into the box. So that is the backside of the amplifier. Let's look at the top of the amplifiers, because they're way more interesting. So this seat is not screwed into place yet. Here, I'll take the light. So here are the two amplifiers. So this is a non-powered seat. Let's do that. So there's no power seats. There's no air conditioning. You see it has the bar here. And so the Blackbird went at the front because I wanted to be able to get to these. If I slid the seat forward, I can still plug in my USB. And it has to be centered perfectly between these two bars. There's like that much room between the two bars, so this fits perfectly in there, which is fantastic. So we had to line that up. It is one piece. There's some angled pieces here to go up underneath here. It slides all the way forward. We added this to it so you could, because it was all open, it looked cheesy. The vent had to come out. There's a vent normally here that had to come out. And then we had to lower the distribution block to the wire height down here, because when we were test fitting it, we didn't have the cover on, and once we put the cover on, it raised it up, and it was hitting. There's a little lever right here, this little lever right here, and this piece right here, we're hitting it, so I had to lower it down a 1/2 inch into the amp rack. So I made a whole little bracket. There's two M5 screws underneath here that hold it all into place. Be cool. I think I like it better like this. And then it just slid right over the top. So it was perfect. Pain in the butt solution, but nonetheless a solution that saved the day. So okay. Apparently my internet sucks if I move forward, so we won't move forward. There's a main ground right here, and there's an open ground point here. So we were able, it uses an M6 bolt, so we were able to put the grounds right here, which is great, makes it nice and simple. But yeah, so Nighthawk, Blackbird. This is powering the 410s eloquently. But yeah, so this is the last piece. Screw that down into place and get it all good. Now, wires that we had to run. So he added in the JBL A-pillars. That's why they're black with gray handles, because the JBLs only come black, Handles are handles. I mean, let's be honest. There's so much two-tone in here. Who cares? He got these used off of eBay. I think they were like 120 bucks. So put the tweeters in, had to run wires for those. The 3.5s in the dash, that is the loop through on this one. And the previous Tundras, there used to be an amplifier underneath the seat, no longer. The radio is big enough, it powers everything, including the center channel, which is just a Y off of these. So it comes out of the radio into here and then down to there. So we put the Y back so that these would work, because it's all aluminum, so you don't want to get into cutting it or anything. And then we ran new wires for these. So these two speakers up here, those two speakers up there, all have their own wiring that comes into this central location down here in the kick. And then we ran into that. And then the wiring goes off the amp rack into the radio. And then there's two clips here that they just plug in to get the front mid bass and the rear fill. And then the one RCA. So this is all powered off of the front. There's no front and rear because that was silly. There's no reason to have that. Yeah. So there we go. That's what we got. And it's done. So tomorrow we start a new day. Yay. A new dawn of fun and excitement. And then today on YouTube, did you see the census unboxing went up today? So for those of you, as you know, Morel.
So, if you know, Morel Hi-Fi is the proud sponsor with the 5 minutes with 5 stars. That's right. You can find morelhifi.com is the place. No, morelhifi.com is the place that you can find all stuff about car audio, from affordable 3-way set, the Maximo 3-way set, to a very, very high-end Ultimo?
Supremo. Ultimo, Supremo. Either way.
Yes.
To keep it simple, go watch today's video, learn about the census.
The census are really nice.
Yeah.
So, morelhifi.com, that's the place that you can find those brand new census. Or you want to see a picture here, Morel_America on Instagram. And you can go on Facebook and follow them. Click the like, Morel America Inc.
Okay, so one of the things we're working on, as you know, are the speaker towers. These here. And last night we set the 3D printer to stun. And it printed our 4-inch or 3-inch speaker pod. So what that's going to do is, whoa, that was neat. Okay. That was weird. Instagram is doing great things today. So what that is going to do is that is going to go right here into this location, just like this. And we'll make a front piece, and then the 2.5 inch will go in here. We have a speaker hole or a wire hole right there. We'll fill that in. And so that guy's done. It's like a bowler hat. And then the last one is just having all kinds of fun right there. So hopefully that'll be done before we leave today, and we can get back to that project, which I'm pretty excited about. Oh, the fuse holder. Always got to show the fuse holder. So here is the fuse holder, amp fuse, all set and ready to go. So we were charging it because we were tuning the system, and we don't want the battery to go dead, because that would suck. What's up, Angel? You think anything else, Fernando?
It's 5 o'clock.
Is it? No, it's not. It's 4 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in the Atlantic.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's it for right now. The Tundra's done. Oh, bass knob. Where's the bass knob? So they have a great location right here for the bass knob.
Yeah.
So nice, simple
Fantastic.
place. All right, that's it. That's all we got. There you go. You have 5 minutes, 5 star. Thank you, Morel. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye. Are you trying to make a composite on your phone?
You cannot extract his logo.
I mean, I can on my desktop. And there again, you've already wasted 10 minutes. I got 20 of these to do, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's taking way too long. Phone call's easier. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Friday. As promised, Toyota Tundra. This is the week of Toyotas, apparently. This is a Tacoma. We had a Tundra, now we have a Tacoma. We just finished this guy up, much smaller system. But let's kind of go through it. This is a stack of equipment here. You got pretty much a full Kenwood system. We have 6903s, so 6903 6x9 here. The 3.5 went up in the dash with a slight bit of modification, just a slight. Got that up into the hole here. Underneath the seat is a 803.5. So 803.5 mounted right there. We put a bracket here in front of it. He's got little kids, I believe. At least we have remnants of stuff that would indicate he has little kids, and this had to mount towards the back. So kick plate in front of the amplifier, there's a gap about that much, so plenty of room for air circulation. But compact, fits. Behind the seat, we ended up with a Fox box. So we have a Fox box with 2 audio control shallow 10s. 5-star speaker cup, plugs right in. So that's that. To get this in and out, you do have to take the seat out, so it just doesn't like drop in. But to get the full panel out, you have to take the seat out anyway, so it all kind of works out in the end. If you're going to do a Tacoma, there's plastic here. It needs to come off. You got to take it off so you have some ability for that subwoofer to breathe into the car. Otherwise, you just muffle the subwoofer. You get no bass. Kind of sucks. There is a couple 1 sub boxes that go into the pocket over here. So just take this side off. Leave that one on. It's fine. But yeah, so this had a JBL system in it. So the factory sub was right here. A factory amplifier was here. So everything is run. We have a T-harness that plugs into the factory amp over here. And then it runs up underneath the seat. And then it goes up to the dash. Because in the dash, we have a 1057. The other thing, too, is if you ever do one of these, for some reason, whoever they designed the kit, then everyone stole the measurements off of, designs the kit wrong. And you will get an indention here. This whole side sits in 1/8 of an inch more than on that side. So you do have to make spacers to make this sit properly. That's a little tip if you've worked on one of those. Now, keep in mind, he would have never seen it because this is a giant screen. But if you're sitting here, you'll know that this is... But you'll never see that side. Are they all? No. So anyways, we just do it because I'm picky. But anyways, that's that. And of course, you can angle this any way you want. So 1057 retains the factory USB because this is not a USB. It's just regular USB-A or whatever it is. Standard. Where can I get a wire harness for my Cadillac CTS 2017? So the best place to go is metraonline.com. metraonline.com and or pack-audio.com. Those are the 2 places that make these things. So that's where you would go to try to find them. Yeah. And there again, if they don't have them, then they don't exist, and or you start to have to cobble stuff together. So it gets a little bit exciting. But anyways, so screen in here, push to start. Bass knob you wanted right here. So because he saw a video where we put it here, and so Fernando had to mount it there. Did a good job. Amp underneath this seat. Power wire goes up through the firewall here over to the battery that's over there. Is it time to go pick up the kids?
It's
time. Afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Did it pause?
Yeah, it paused. It paused. It likes to pause.
Beautiful break.
Yeah. So in the rear, we have the new Kenwood 175s, which is their 6.5-inch coaxial Exelon. The cool thing about those is really the biggest difference between the 4 last year and the year before that, the previous generation and this generation. You can go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it out. Is the bracket that it comes with for mounting. They've done updated bracket. You all right?
Yeah, new bracket.
Yeah. So the bracket is much cooler with this one, and it allows you to put it in way more applications, so you don't have to buy a bracket. So that makes installation much more cost effective, because the 6903s come with plenty of bracketry, so you don't need brackets for those, and they come with foam. The other ones don't come with foam yet. That's, Kenwood for some reason hasn't figured out that they need to put foam in those things, because then you'd basically have a fast ring in the box. But they do give you nice brackets. So one of the other benefits of the Kenwood Exelon is brackets. I've been watching so many videos in the last 2 hours, I feel like this isn't live. I'm right there with you. I feel like it's not live either, because, yeah, I agree. I totally understand. Yep. Have a good weekend, Fernando. Dude, trust me, he'll be back. He's just got to go to school to pick up the beaners, and then he'll be back, and then we can pick on him. So we got a package the other day, and you guys will get an unboxing video of it next week, because we already filmed it, because we were like, let's just do this and get it over with. But we got a box here from our good friends at Arc Audio, and we've been talking about this piece, and we'll talk about it some more tomorrow, and we'll probably talk about it for a while. And the reason for that is because everybody wants an affordable DSP, right? Everybody wants a badass affordable DSP. Which Kenwood 3.5s did you say you used? We used the 6903s, which comes with the Kenwood Exelon C3. So it's the C3, but it comes in the kit with the 6903, so you get a 6x9 and the 3.5s. So 2025 RAV4, more premium, no premium. Can you change the radio? There again, if MetroOnline.com would be the only place to see if there's a dash kit. So you'd have to see if there's a dash kit first. And if there is, then we could probably figure it out from there. In some of the Toyotas, you don't necessarily need a dash kit. You need a wiring harness, which would be like you can make a dash kit, but you need a wiring harness interface with the car. So at that point, you'd go over to iData, see if they have an interface for it. They may not. Some of the 25s they do, some of them they don't. And it's usually because they haven't tested them yet. So, yeah, even though it's 2025, everyone's behind, man. It sucks. Anyways, we got this box here. Techno Express. What's up? Morel throughways or Focal flax wrist. Depends on the type of music you listen to. You want a hard dome tweeter? You want a soft dome tweeter? Hard dome, Focal. Soft dome, Morel. Take your pick. Can't really decide for you because I don't know what you like. So, but those are the big differences. They're both loud. They're both in your face. They're both fantastic. Hard dome, soft dome. Okay. So, affordable, high-end DSP is where we were going with this. And we've been talking about the new PS 6 to 8. And here it is. The new PS 6 to 8. Super thin. It is 6 channels of input, high level, low level. 8 channels of output. Obviously low level. You have SP diff input, so digital coax, and optical. You have both. It has both inputs. You can use the bass knob, the LR1 bass knob with it. It is iData compatible. So this is a fully functional, affordable DSP, iData compatible. So if you're like rocking an old, just say DSR1, and you're like, man, I really want to upgrade. I want something full. I want big dog. All the Arc Audio DSPs will do it, but not at this price point. Basically, it took all the fluff out of it that they didn't need, that that somebody wouldn't want to necessarily use. But it does have one cool feature, USB-C for, yeah. So anyways, I don't want to go too deep into it. It's just super thin, very nice. You can flip this any direction you want. So you can mount it like this, you can mount it like this, you can mount it like that, you can mount it any way you want. All of this is movable. There's lights underneath it that they rotate. You're going to find out all the cool stuff about this next week when we do the unboxing. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And then, but wait, there's more. Arturo, Dean is going to say Morel. And dude, listen, we sell a ton of flax because, man, they're just, people love them. It's just one of those things. There is a kit and a harness. Boom. There you go. Now, you do have to keep in mind that on a lot of those Toyotas, it has to be an L chassis, okay, or a very skinny chassis. So it'll probably say something like Alpine, and also some of the new Kenwoods, if you can get them, like the 4710 and stuff like that. So the Alpine 507 is typically what fits, or a two-piece radio. So some of the Pioneers are two-piece radios, and then of course, you'll probably be able to modify the new Kenwood to fit in there because, yeah, you can probably modify the new Kenwood to fit. All right. So the other day we were talking with our rep, and we were talking about, I'm just going to give it away, we were talking about Aftershock, or what would be called the new Aftershock 2, which comes in the LX amplifiers. And I was like, this is a really cool feature, because it will help restore bass that is missing. So if you don't want to if you're trying to streamline the install, the new LX amplifiers Aftershock are pretty cool. And he's like, well, you should do a video talking about that and showing how it works. And I said, that's a great idea for a video. So, did you check your grounds? It's Friday. Yeah, no doubt. Can you recommend a 4-channel amp that plays tweeters? All of them. Unless you're just looking for something with an active crossover, and then you need to find something that has a 10-time multiplier switch. I prefer soft. Then you want Morel. PS16. Yeah, it's over there. All right, that's a 12. Looking at that one for the limit. You guys are weird. What mic would you recommend for tuning big stunt walls? Something that can handle a huge SPL. Where a few small differences, but not many. Okay. So anyways, the idea was how to do a video showing Aftershock 2, how it works, what it does. And so we got the LX 850.1 so that we can do that video and show you guys how all of that works. What it's doing, all the effects, how the bass knob. So RTA work is basically what we're looking at. So we're going to do some cool RTA work on this. And then, of course, we'll do a dyno and all that crap at some point. But I really just want to take a look at how the amplifier reacts to different signals. And so we'll put a bunch of stuff into it, and then we'll see what Aftershock 2 can do to make those better. Picking up the kids. He is picking up the kids. Yes. Can we hear how the truck sounds like with the Kenwood system? Do those 10s thump? The 10s thump, unfortunately, this is my only source of music. And Fernando's gone, so we can't use his phone. I know, right? It sucks. Picking up the beaners. LOL. That's what we call kids. It's from my, So we used to call the young. We won't even get into that. Anyways. But yeah, normally I'd love to let you hear this with some DRM free stuff. It does rail, but I could do it. But then you'd have to go. So next time, bro. Next time. Today is Friday, so if you didn't catch the news this morning, definitely go back and check it out. We love it. It was fun. Tomorrow is Saturday, so at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing news, or we'll be doing Q&A. I don't know why I said news. We'll be doing Q&A, so that'll be fun. Yeah. So on a side tangent, working on a new project for Haley, because that's what we end up doing. And this is a prototype. of, this will be color and have a name and all that crap. This is a prototype that I designed last night in my free time. Yeah. Then it came in this morning and printed it just to get an idea of scale and how it's going to, these will all be different colors. Look really cool, but we just printed it really quick in black PLA. Yeah. I know, right? 3D printers, everyone needs one. A turkey? Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's for a Thanksgiving Day trip. Minnie Mouse? Yeah, that is Minnie Mouse, 100%. Yep. So this is the Minnie Mouse version of it. She was going to be harder because she has that silly bow. So I printed Minnie Mouse before we printed Mickey Mouse. I have both. I've designed both. So there again, the process behind it. Let's wake up the laptop. See if it wants to wake up. Come on, you can do it. Or it's dead. Oh, see, look at that. It's dead. It's dead. That's what happens, man. You got to plug these things in. This is why I don't have an EV, because it would always be dead because I'd forget to plug it in. All right, let's give that a second to do its thing and see if we can get it on. Yep, Minnie Mouse. All right, so let's see if this will wake up. It's gonna take a second. So we're tossing around the idea: do we do it laser, do it in 3D printing? Because 3D printing laser always looks like so sexy because it's like glass, looks so good. But this is like cheaper, a lot cheaper. All right, computer decided it wanted to wake up. So let's take a look how this goes. So Mac guy. So we're gonna launch Amadine, and we'll hit the artwork here. And there she is. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so when you're designing something, you kind of have to be smart about it, and that you want to put things in folders so that you can easily remove sections you don't want. So for example, this is a universal section here. Here is a background. This would be the back plate of it. You can make it any color. It doesn't have to be this, but it's probably going to end up being white, which obviously white on white looks silly. So anytime I do gray, I know that's going to be white. But if we click on this box, and then we're going to select all, and then we'll click fill. And so now we have that same artwork, but we have it in Mickey Mouse. So we can easily just swap out the two pieces. And then, there you go, stack them on top of one another, which would be silly. And this allows you to export, import, and turn on and off the color fill to get the background pieces you need. And then this guy, hang on. Let's see if we can rotate. Zoomed in too far. So here's what this ends up looking like in the slicer. So, and of course you can resize it, do whatever you like. There's a little box, we can drag that around and see. But 3D printers are fun. I have a 2013 Dodge Ram Longhorn with factory Alpine speakers and radio. Will adding an Epicenter micro be perfect to add an amp with the sub? No, it won't. The reason why is because on that particular system, it has even though it has a subwoofer, believe it or not, it has a high pass filter, and it has active noise canceling as well. Well, 13 might not have active noise canceling, but it is going to have dynamic EQ, aka bass roll off. Now, there are two different types that people are getting confused with. You have dynamic EQ, which is as you turn up and down the volume, the bass seems to go away. It's because it's loudness and it's actually going away. And then you have a high pass EQ or high pass crossover that's in there, which is not bass roll off. It is just a high pass filter in there. Now, the easiest way to get around all of this is to just get a Sub Pro from pack-audio.com. That will plug in and give you a fully clean RCA that will play as low as the radio can possibly play to 110 hertz, which is perfect for a subwoofer, or it's 200, 220, 250, something like that. Either way, way far up. It's not full range because they wouldn't do that because, yeah, it's a whole nother story. But anyways, and it negates all of those issues. So you get a perfectly clean output. Now, if you want to take that and put that signal, which is a clean RC output, and put that into an epicenter, either the micro or the competition, whatever, it's champion competition, that would be fantastic. That'd be the way to do it. That's how we would do it. Anyways, and then everyone would be happy. So, it's Car Stereo Chris Brinkley. Hey brother, what's going on? Nothing. Hope all is well. Been busy this week. I'm sure you have. You know, new job and all, which we did mention this morning on news. Just saying. You know, we called you out. So, anyways. So there we go, guys. So there's a bunch of funness that's happening here in the install bay. This is actually going to get out of here. So I got to put the boxes in it, get it out of here. He'll be here to pick it up shortly. And we have one more car for today, but it's a turd, so we're not going to talk about it. You know, the great thing, Chris, about this is you can go back and watch it all. You can go back and watch it. And then you'll be like, oh, that's so sweet. And we'll be like, I know, it's because we care. Any good reviews on the new version Vegas? I don't know what we're talking about. Vegas? Are we talking like Surin Vegas? It's funny because John was just in here today. Catalano, who's on the show, who works for them, brought us lunch because he's a fantastic chef. He brought us curry. Here, check it out. Fernando's got his sitting right here. Ooh, look at that. Like, oh my God. That's my dinner right there. Not this one. I have my own. But I'm saving it for dinner because the girls are going to be gone tonight. And that means I have to eat by myself. And I just want to go home after work and not stop and get food. Because I just don't like doing that. So we'll have curry. Have a good holiday weekend. That is the plan. We still got one more day of this. Hopefully you'll get to watch. Otherwise, that's it. We're going to let you go. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you. Bye.